Alright, if you're planning a trip to London, one of the first things that you're probably thinking about is how you're going to stay connected once you land. I mean, you'll probably want to check Google Maps, call an Uber, or just let someone know that you got there. And not having service can be super annoying. That's why a lot of people are switching to eSIMs. They're just way easier than dealing with a SIM card or worrying about expensive roaming fees. And the one I've personally been using on my trips is Saily eSIM. It's been super simple and reliable every time. So in this video, I'll show you how Saily works for London, what kind of plans they have, and the pros and cons so you can see if it's something that you want to use on your next trip. And if at any point you want to try it out, I've also got a 15% off discount code that you can use. Just type in GVU Tech when you download the Saily app or visit their website. And without further ado, let's get right into it. Okay, so if you haven't heard of Saily yet, it's basically an eSIM app that makes it super easy to get mobile data while you're traveling abroad. It's actually run by Nord Security, the same team behind NordVPN, which a lot of people trust when it comes to online privacy. Saily works in over 200 countries, including the UK, so if you're heading to London, you can count on it to keep you connected from the moment that you land. And it's not just about data, it also comes with a few built-in extras, like ad blocking to save data, web protection to block sketchy websites and malware, and even a virtual location feature to keep things more private when you're on public Wi-Fi. Now, in terms of how Saily actually works, it's super straightforward, which is one of the things I really like about it. You just download the Saily app from the App Store or Google Play before your trip, and once you're in the app, you choose your destination. In this case, you'll want to select United Kingdom, since that's what covers London and the rest of the country. From there, you can just pick a data plan that works for your trip. The app gives you step-by-step instructions to activate your eSIM, and the entire setup only takes a couple of minutes. Once that's done, your phone connects automatically the second that you land. No physical SIM cards, no dealing with airport kiosks, just open your phone and you're online. Saily connects you to fast local networks so you're not stuck with bad signal while trying to get around the city. And if your phone supports 5G, you might even get that depending on where you are in London. That being said, in terms of the prices for London, they're actually the same as the general Saily plans for the entire United Kingdom, so you don't need to search for anything London specific. Whether you're staying in the city or traveling around the UK, the pricing stays the same. Now, if you're just visiting for a few days and only need data for things like Google Maps, messages, or quick searches, there's a 1 GB plan that lasts for 7 days for just under $5. For longer trips, there's a 3 GB plan for about $9 and a 5 GB plan for around $13, which are both valid for 30 days. If you think you'll be using your phone more often, maybe for streaming, uploading photos, or using social apps, there is a 10 GB plan for $20. And for heavier users, the 20 GB plan is a great option at around $32 and is also valid for 30 days. And if you don't want to worry about running out of data at all, they've got a 15-day unlimited plan for just under $50. It gives you a ton of high-speed data up front, and once that's used, your speed slows down a bit, but you're never fully disconnected. But if you're not just staying in London and plan to travel over to places like France, Italy, or anywhere else nearby, Saily also has regional plans for Europe. That means you can stay connected across multiple countries with just one plan. No switching SIMs or setting up something new every time that you cross a border. It's honestly such a simple way to travel without any extra stress. And like I mentioned earlier, if you want to try it out, don't forget to use my discount code GVUTech at checkout when you download the Saily app or visit their website. It'll get you 15% off, which definitely helps. Okay, so now let's talk about some of the pros and cons, just so you know what to expect. First off, one of the things that really stood out to me about Saily is how much they focus on online privacy, something that you don't always get with other eSIM providers. They've added some really helpful features, like an ad blocker to cut down on annoying pop-ups and save your data, plus web protection that blocks harmful websites and malware, which is especially useful if you're using public Wi-Fi in places like hotels, cafes, or even airports. They also include a virtual location feature that hides your real location, which adds another layer of privacy while browsing abroad. So it's not just about staying connected, it's about staying protected too, which I definitely appreciate. Another thing I liked is how the app tracks your data in real time. I got a notification when I was close to hitting 80% of my data plan, so I was never caught off guard. And if I did need more data, topping up took literally a few taps, no hassle, and no waiting around. Even if you've never used an eSIM before, it's really beginner friendly. The setup is simple, and you don't need to mess with physical SIM cards or worry about losing your original SIM while you travel. And of course, the most important part is how it actually works while traveling. So like I said, I've used it in a few different countries, and honestly, the connection has been great every time. I could stream, use maps, post photos, and send messages. Everything worked smoothly. And not having to rely on sketchy hotel Wi-Fi was a huge plus. One more thing I love is if you're not just staying in one place, like if you're visiting other cities in the UK or heading to places like Paris or Rome, you can just grab one of Saily's regional plans and it'll work across multiple countries. No switching SIMs and no extra setup. And finally, the pricing is honestly one of my favorite parts. It's way cheaper than roaming, and you don't have to worry about surprise fees or random charges. What you see is what you pay, and that peace of mind goes a long way when you're abroad. But while Saily is very useful, like just about every product or service, or really just about anything, it's not perfect. For example, Saily is a data-only eSIM, which means it doesn't support traditional phone calls or SMS texting. So if you need to make calls or send messages, you'll have to use apps like WhatsApp, FaceTime, Telegram, or any other internet-based service. But let's be real, that's how most of us communicate anyway, so for most people, this really isn't a big deal. Also, before you buy a plan, it's a good idea to just double check if your phone supports eSIM. Most newer smartphones do, but just in case, Saily offers a refund if it turns out that your device isn't compatible. Alright, so to wrap this all up, if you're planning a trip to London and want a super easy, reliable way to stay connected, without dealing with SIM cards or expensive roaming fees, I'd definitely say Saily is worth checking out. It's really simple to set up, the coverage is great, and those added features like web protection and ad blocking are a nice bonus, especially when you're using public Wi-Fi at airports, cafes, or hotels. And one of the best things is that you don't have to worry about losing service if you decide to visit other parts of the UK, or even other countries in Europe. Plus, Saily's regional plans make it super easy to stay connected across borders without having to switch anything. So if you want to try it out for your trip, don't forget I've got a 15% discount for you. Just use the code GVUTech when you download the Saily app or visit their website. And if you have any questions or suggestions, feel free to drop them in the comments, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Other than that, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day.